I hear it every week. Capable professionals telling themselves that starting a business is not realistic for them. They assume they lack the time, the specific background, or the safety net required to step away from their desks. This archive of the Small Business Administration captures the traditional start of American enterprise, but the current volume of new ventures is at a 20-year peak. Between November 2025 and January 2026, Americans filed 1.56 million new business applications. That is the highest volume for any three-month period since tracking began in 2004. This census data highlights a demographic shift in who is actually building these companies. The mean age of founders behind the fastest-growing startups is 45. Furthermore, individuals aged 55 to 64 now represent one of the fastest-growing segments of new entrepreneurs in the country. The entrepreneurial explosion isn't a future event, it is happening now. While many wait for a traditional signal, the beta suggests the biggest risk is continuing to wait for a permission slip that isn't coming. 20 years ago, the barriers to entry were physical and financial. A new venture required capital for legal teams, accountants, and web developers, along with months of cash runway just to survive the initial launch phase. This chart compares traditional startup expenses to modern requirements. The thousands of dollars needed in 2005 plummet to a near-zero baseline in 2026. Today, you can draft documents, design a brand, and build financial models using AI tools for less than a streaming subscription. As costs fall, solo founders rise. This line graph shows solo-founded startups jumping from 23.7% to 36.3% in just 6 years. Because the technical and financial gates have effectively hit zero, the final hurdle between you and a new venture is entirely internal. We often associate entrepreneurship with the elite gatekeepers of Silicon Valley or prestigious business schools. But at its core, it is simply the act of finding a problem and solving it in exchange for value. Moving into this economy requires two decisions. First, you have to take 100% responsibility for your financial future. The process begins the moment you stop waiting for an employer to provide your income. Second, you must move past the traditional employee mindset. Employees generally trade their time directly for a paycheck. This diagram shows how that linear model is replaced by an entrepreneurial cycle. You identify a problem, provide a solution, and then capture a fraction of the value you created. Note the specific order in this loop. You must deliver value first, and you get paid second. The solution strictly precedes the compensation. These are not personality traits you are born with. They are conscious choices about how you measure your worth and how you deliver it to the world. Youthful energy is often prioritized in tech, but decades of professional pattern recognition and domain expertise are the ultimate irreplaceable products. Consider a retired teacher who has spent 30 years mastering how students learn. She can now use AI to scale that specific knowledge into a global online tutoring business in a matter of days. Or a mid-career nurse who builds a health coaching practice based on insights gained from thousands of hours of specialized patient care. Even a local bike tour guide can use his hyper-local knowledge to brainstorm and launch new ventures, using language models as a strategic partner. In these scenarios, artificial intelligence acts as a force multiplier. It takes a project that used to demand 3 weeks of structural work and compresses it into 3 hours of execution. Technology does not replace human experience. It is the amplifier that allows people to finally execute the solutions they uniquely understand. Not everyone needs to be the sole founder. You can participate in this new economy without ever becoming a CEO. The future of work relies on casting a production. Every great show needs writers, directors, and editors. On an entrepreneurial team, your role is to bring your unique abilities to a shared mission, rather than just fulfilling a job description. The most valuable people in this environment are those who act before they are asked. They show up with solutions and contribute value to the team long before the paycheck is discussed. The modern economy disproportionately rewards those whose primary focus is making the people around them more successful. The tools are free, the information is free, and as the data shows, you no longer need to be 25 or hold an elite degree to begin. The only remaining requirement is your personal decision to stop waiting for someone else to build your future. Look at your own professional history. Your specific skills and even your past failures have prepared you to solve one particular problem for someone else. The tools are ready. What are you going to build?